When you decide to stop chasing someone, particularly a woman you're interested in, a profound transformation begins, starting with yourself. The first and most critical change you experience is the reclaiming of your self-respect. In our attempts to win someone's affection, it's easy to lose sight of who we are, to bend ourselves into shapes that don't feel true, and to act in ways that diminish our sense of self-worth. This is not about playing games or withholding affection. It's about recognizing your own value and refusing to compromise your dignity for the sake of someone else's approval. Self-respect begins with understanding your worth. When you chase someone, you're often inadvertently sending the message that they are more valuable than you are, that their attention, validation, or love is something you must earn. This mindset is destructive because it places your happiness in someone else's hands. The moment you stop chasing, you reclaim control. You tell yourself, I am enough as I am. This shift is not just internal, it radiates outward, changing how others perceive and interact with you. Confidence is attractive, and nothing exudes confidence more than someone who knows their value and doesn't feel the need to prove it to anyone. Stopping the chase also allows you to set healthy boundaries. When you constantly pursue someone, you may find yourself agreeing to things you don't want them to do. Ignoring your own needs or tolerating behavior makes you uncomfortable, all in the hope of gaining their favor. This isn't sustainable, nor is it fair to you. By stepping back, you communicate that you will not sacrifice your well-being or compromise your standards for the sake of a relationship. Boundaries are an expression of self-respect, and they show others how to treat you. A relationship that flourishes within these boundaries is far more fulfilling than one built on a foundation of compromise and sacrifice. The act of stepping back and valuing your self-respect doesn't mean you stop caring or become indifferent. It means you stop overextending yourself in ways that deplete your energy and confidence. This newfound balance often shifts the dynamic of your interactions. But when you chase, there's an unspoken imbalance. It feels as though you're giving everything while the other person may not be as invested. But when you step back, even playing field, it creates space for mutual effort, mutual respect. It's not about creating a void to manipulate the other person. It's about allowing both of you to assess what you truly want without the fog of desperation or pressure clouding your judgment. As you stop chasing and focus on yourself, you begin to invest in areas of your life that may have been neglected. Whether it's your career, hobbies, friendships, or personal development, these become sources of fulfillment and joy. This shift in focus not only enriches your life, but also changes the energy you bring to any relationship. You become more centered, confident, and content qualities naturally attract others to you. People are drawn to those who are happy with themselves, who don't need others to complete them, but rather to complement them. Over time, you'll notice a shift in how you view relationships and connections. Instead of seeking validation or approval, you'll start to approach them from a place of strength and abundance. You'll realize that a meaningful relationship doesn't require you to chase, it requires mutual respect and effort. This realization can be liberating. It frees you from the anxiety of trying to be someone you're not and allows you to show up as your authentic self. By stopping the chase, you also allow her to see your value without the distractions of constant pursuit. Sometimes stepping back is the only way for someone to fully appreciate who you are and what you bring to the table. But when you honor yourself, others are more likely to honor you as well. This shift doesn't just transform your relationship, it transforms you, empowering you to live a life rooted in self-respect, confidence, and authenticity. It's in this space that true connection becomes possible, built not on the need to chase, but on the mutual recognition of each other's worth. But when you stop chasing her, something incredible happens. You create space for her to make a choice. This is not about manipulation or trying to force someone into a decision. It's about understanding the power of autonomy and mutual effort in any meaningful relationship. By stepping back, you're allowing her to take responsibility for her feelings, her actions, and the role she plays in the connection between you. In essence, you give her the opportunity to reflect on what she had told you. A first in her life truly means Chasing often creates a one-sided dynamic. When one person is constantly pursuing, it's easy for the other to become passive, taking the effort and attention for granted. This doesn't necessarily mean they don't care. It might simply mean they haven't had the chance to evaluate the relationship fully. When you stop chasing, you shift that balance. Suddenly, she is faced with the reality of your absence, and in that space, she can begin to understand the value of her life. This isn't about withdrawing affection or playing games. It's about fostering It's about fostering a healthier dynamic where both parties contribute equally. When someone realizes they may lose something or someone important, it prompts them to evaluate their feelings more deeply. Absence often brings clarity. It's in these moments of reflection that people start to recognize what they truly want and need. By not chasing, you give her the gift of perspective. She gets to ask herself the critical questions. Do I miss him? Do I value what he brought into my life? Am I willing to make an effort to keep this connection alive? These are questions she cannot fully explore when you are constantly present, doing all the work to maintain the relationship. Furthermore, when you stop chasing, you demonstrate strength and independence, qualities that are inherently attractive. It sends a clear message you are not someone who clings or relies on others for validation. Instead, you are secure enough in yourself to step back and trust that if the relationship is meant to be, it will unfold naturally. This confidence can spark a shift in her perception. It allows her to see you in a new light, not as someone desperate for her attention, but as someone worthy of respect and admiration. Another powerful effect of stopping the chase is that it reveals the true nature of the connection. Relationships should be built on mutual respect and effort, not on one person constantly proving their worth. By stepping back, you give her the opportunity to show her intentions and commitment. If she genuinely values the connection, she will step forward and meet you halfway. If not, it's a sign that the relationship may not have the balance or depth needed to thrive. This clarity is invaluable. It saves you from investing your time and energy into something one-sided or unfulfilling. It's also important to recognize that stepping back is not the same as giving up. It's about focusing on yourself. Your growth and your happiness are allowing the relationship to develop naturally. This approach creates a healthier foundation for any connection. It shows that you are not afraid to let go of something if it doesn't serve you, and that you respect yourself enough to walk away from situations where your efforts are not reciprocated. In this process, you might find that she begins to pursue you. When someone realizes that you are no longer chasing, they may start to take notice of what they stand to lose. This can lead to a shift in dynamics where she becomes more attentive, appreciative, and willing to make an effort. However, this should not be the ultimate goal. The focus should always remain on building a connection that is balanced and fulfilling for both of you. Ultimately, when you stop chasing her, you allow the relationship to evolve in a way that is genuine and mutual. It's no longer about one person trying to convince the other. It's about two individuals coming together because they truly want to. And in that space of mutual respect and effort, you create the possibility for something far more meaningful and lasting. But when you stop chasing her, something profound shifts within yourself too. It's not just about the dynamics between you and her. It's about reclaiming your personal power, setting boundaries, and rediscovering your worth. Chasing someone often puts you in a position where you prioritize their needs, feelings, and validation over your own. When you stop, you allow yourself the freedom to step back and strip on who you are and what you truly deserve in a relationship. It's not an act of giving up, but an act of self-respect. And it changes the way you see yourself and the world around you. One of the first things you realize when you stop chasing is how much energy you were expending on the pursuit. That energy could have been directed toward your own goals, passions, and growth. By redirecting that focus inward, you begin to see yourself as the primary architect of your happiness. Instead of hinging your fulfillment on someone else's approval or presence, you start to cultivate it within yourself. This shift is empowering. It reminds you that your life is yours to shape, and your happiness doesn't depend on whether or not someone chooses to be a part of it. This newfound self-focus also allows you to reassess your standards and boundaries. When you're in the throes of chasing someone, it's easy to overlook red flags or compromise on things that are important to you. But when you stop, you give yourself the space to evaluate the situation objectively. Are you chasing because you genuinely see a future with this person? Or are you caught up in the allure of the chase itself? Are your efforts being reciprocated, or are you pouring into a cup that will never be filled? These are questions you can only answer when you pause and take a step back. Moreover, by halting the chase, you demonstrate your ability to let go of what doesn't serve you. This isn't about being cold or indifferent. It's about valuing yourself enough to walk away from situations where your worth isn't recognized. Letting go doesn't mean you care any less. It means you care enough about yourself to prioritize your well-being. This act of letting go sends a powerful message, not just to her, but to yourself, that you will not settle for anything less than what you deserve. Another important realization that comes from stopping the chase is the importance of reciprocity. Healthy relationships are built on mutual effort and respect, not on one person constantly proving their worth. But when you step back, you allow her to show whether she's willing to meet you halfway. If she values you and the connection you share, she'll make an effort to bridge the gap. If she doesn't, it's a clear sign the relationship may not have the balance or depth needed to flourish. Either way, you gain clarity, and clarity is a gift. Stopping the chase also teaches you patience and self-discipline. It can be tempting to keep reaching out to try one more time to win her over. But by resisting that urge, you cultivate a sense of inner strength. You learn to trust the process and let things unfold naturally. This patience is a form of self-respect. It shows that you are willing to wait for what is right rather than forcing something that isn't meant to be. It's a reminder that love, when it's real and mutual, doesn't require chasing. It flows freely and effortlessly. In this process, you might even find that your perspective on relationships begins to shift. You start to see them not as a source of validation, but as an opportunity for growth, companionship, and mutual support. This shift is transformative. It changes the way you approach future connections and helps you build healthier, more fulfilling relationships. Ultimately, when you stop chasing her, you do something much bigger than creating space for her to reflect. You create space for yourself to grow. And in that growth, you become the person you were always meant to be: strong, confident, and deserving of love that comes naturally and without compromise. But when you stop chasing her, something unexpected happens. Respect starts to take root, both from her and within yourself. Chasing often inadvertently sends a signal that you value her more than you value yourself, creating an imbalance in the dynamic. But when you pause the pursuit, you shift the energy, and this shift forces both of you to reevaluate the relationship and its foundations. Respect cannot be demanded. It must be earned and cultivated. And this change in approach often plants the seeds for that respect to grow. For by ceasing the chase, you show her that your value is not tied to her validation. This is a profound and powerful message. It's not about playing games or engaging in manipulation. It's about demonstrating self-respect. But when you set boundaries and prioritize your own well-being, you subtly encourage her to view you differently. Suddenly, you are no longer someone who is readily available, bending over backward to win her attention. Instead, you become someone who understands their worth and won't compromise it to fit into someone else's life. This change in perception often leads her to reflect on her own behavior and priorities. When someone is being chased, it's easy for them to take the pursuer for granted. They may not realize the depth of your efforts because those efforts are constant and expected. But when you stop, the absence of your attention becomes palpable. She is compellable. She is compelled to consider what she stands to lose if she doesn't reciprocate your energy. This can be a turning point, leading her to reevaluate how much she values you and whether she has been treating you fairly. At the same time, this shift also does something incredible for you. It helps you rebuild your own sense of self-worth. When you stop seeking validation from her, you begin to recognize your own intrinsic value. You stop defining yourself by how much she acknowledges or appreciates you as you, and start seeing yourself through your own eyes. This is a critical step toward emotional independence, which is necessary for any healthy relationship. You can't pour from an empty cup, and stepping back allows you to refill your cup with self-respect, confidence, and clarity. Another benefit of this approach is that it changes the power dynamics in the relationship. While relationships should ideally be partnerships of equals, chasing often creates an imbalance where one person holds more influence over the dynamic than the other. By stepping back, you level the playing field. You're no longer operating from a place of desperation and neediness, but from a place of strength and self-assuredness. This shift often compels her to engage with you on more equal terms, fostering a healthier and more balanced connection. It's also worth noting that stopping the chase allows for a natural and organic evolution of the relationship. True connections aren't built on pressure or one-sided efforts. They grow through mutual understanding, shared values, and reciprocal energy. But when you step back, you give her the opportunity to decide how she feels about you without being overwhelmed by your pursuit. This space is essential for authenticity. It allows both of you to come together for the right reasons, not because one person is driving the connection forward. In the process of giving her space, you also discover something invaluable: clarity. Clarity about whether she truly values you, about whether the relationship aligns with your needs and goals, and about how you feel when you're not constantly chasing. This insight can be transformative, guiding your decisions about whether to continue investing in the connection or to move on to something more aligned with your worth and desires. Ultimately, you stop chasing her. You take a stand for yourself and what you deserve. This act of self-respect is not only a powerful statement to her, but also a transformative moment for you. It sets the stage for healthier relationships, deeper connections, and a stronger sense of self-worth. Respect, both given and received, becomes the cornerstone of your interactions, laying the groundwork for something far more meaningful and fulfilling than a one-sided pursuit. But when you stop chasing her, you open yourself to the possibility of rediscovering who you are outside of the relationship. So often, in the pursuit of someone's attention and affection, people lose touch with their individuality, and they become so focused on what the other person wants, thinks, or needs that they forget to nurture their own passions, goals, and identity. By stepping away from the chase, you reclaim the space to reconnect with yourself. This journey of self-rediscovery is not just about filling time, it's about finding fulfillment and purpose within yourself. When you stop chasing, you have the opportunity to explore what truly makes you happy. What are the dreams and aspirations you may have put on hold? What hobbies or interests have you neglected in your effort to impress or win over someone else? By investing time and energy into these aspects of your life, you begin to build a more complete and satisfying version of yourself. This process also fosters a sense of independence. When you are no longer consumed by the need for external validation, you realize the power of standing on your own. Independence doesn't mean shutting people out or avoiding relationships. It means having the strength and confidence to thrive regardless of your relationship status. This kind of self-assuredness is attractive not only to potential partners, but also to anyone who values authenticity and depth in their connections. Stopping the chase also forces you to confront and heal any insecurities or fears that may have driven your actions. Often the compulsion to chase someone stems from a fear of rejection or a belief that you are not enough on your own. These are deeply rooted issues that no amount of chasing or external validation can resolve. When you step back, you give yourself the chance to address these feelings head on. It's not an easy process, but it's an essential one. Facing and overcoming these insecurities makes you stronger and more emotionally resilient. Another important aspect of this journey is learning to set boundaries. Chasing someone often involves overextending yourself, sacrificing your time, energy, and even values to gain their favor. This can leave you feeling drained and unappreciated. When you stop chasing, you're essentially drawing a line in the sand. You're saying, I value myself too much to keep giving. Without receiving, this act of setting boundaries is empowering. It teaches you to protect your energy and prioritize your well-being, both of which are crucial for healthy relationships. Moreover, this newfound focus on self-development creates a ripple effect in your life. As you grow and evolve, you attract people to align with the person you're becoming. When you're chasing someone, you may unintentionally lower your standards or settle for less than you deserve. But when you stop, you set a higher standard for the kind of relationships you want to nurture. This often leads to connections that are more meaningful, balanced, and fulfilling. This shift also changes how others perceive you. There's something undeniably magnetic about a person who knows their worth and isn't afraid to walk away from situations that don't honor it. When you stop chasing, you exude a quiet confidence that draws people in. It's not about playing hard to get, it's about being genuinely secure in yourself. This energy is powerful and often makes others see you in a new light. Finally, stopping the chase gives you the clarity to evaluate the relationship objectively. When you're in the thick of pursuit, it's easy to overlook red flags or rationalize behavior that doesn't sit well with you. Taking a step back allows you to see the situation for what it is, not what you wish it to be. This clarity helps you make decisions that are in your best interest, whether that means giving the relationship another chance or walking away for good. In the end, stopping the chase isn't about giving up, it's about growing up. It's about choosing self-respect over desperation, authenticity over pretense, and mutual connection over one-sided effort. It's a transformative step that not only changes your relationships, but also reshapes your entire approach to life. By rediscovering yourself and embracing your worth, you pave the way for deeper connections and a more fulfilling future. When you stop chasing her, you create space for her to recognize and appreciate your value. Relationships at their best are built on respect, effort, and understanding. However, when one person does all the chasing, disrupts this balance. The constant pursuit can lead to a dynamic where one person is always giving while the other becomes complacent in receiving. By stepping back, you shift the dynamic and give her the opportunity to reflect on what you bring to the table. This change often prompts introspection. People tend to take things for granted when they are always readily available. Your absences creates a void that forces her to evaluate the relationship's importance in her life. It's in this space that she begins to recognize the qualities you possess, the support, kindness, loyalty, and love you offer. Sometimes it takes steps back for someone to fully appreciate what they had. It's not about manipulation or playing games. It's about creating a healthy balance where both individuals contribute equally to the relationship. In addition, when you stop chasing, you also communicate a powerful message about your own self-worth. You're saying without words that you refuse to accept a relationship where you're the only one putting in the effort. This act of self-respect is not just empowering for you. It's also a clear boundary that others must respect. Boundaries are essential in any relationship. They teach others how to treat you and ensure that the relationship is built on mutual care rather than dependency or control. This shift can also be a catalyst for growth on both sides. For her, it might mean reevaluating her own behavior, understanding how her actions have impacted the relationship, and deciding whether she's willing to meet you halfway. For you, it's an opportunity to focus on becoming the best version of yourself. Relationships should enhance your life, not define it. But when you stop chasing, you redirect your energy toward personal development, whether that's advancing your career, building stronger friendships, or pursuing hobbies that ignite your passion. Another important outcome of stepping back is that it allows her the chance to make her own decisions. When someone feels overly pursued, it can sometimes lead to feelings of pressure or even resentment. By giving her the freedom to choose, you empower her to decide what she truly wants. If she chooses to come back, it's because she values and appreciates you, not because she feels obligated or coerced. This kind of mutual decision-making strengthens the foundation of any relationship. At the same time, it's crucial to understand that not every relationship is meant to last. Stopping the chase might reveal that the feelings or intentions were not mutual. While this realization can be painful, it's also liberating. It frees you from investing time and energy into a situation that isn't aligned with your needs and desires. It's better to know the truth and move forward than to remain stuck in a cycle of one-sided effort. The act of stepping back also fosters emotional resilience. Letting go of the chase requires courage, especially when emotions are involved. It's a process of trusting that what is meant for you will come to you without force or desperation. This kind of trust is rooted in confidence and self-awareness. It teaches you to value your own peace and happiness above all else. When you prioritize these things, you naturally attract people who respect and cherish you for who you are. Finally, stopping the chase allows for the possibility of healthier, more balanced connections in the future. Whether it's with her or someone new, the lessons you learn from this experience will shape how you approach relationships going forward. You'll know the importance of mutual effort, the value of self-respect, and the power of walking away when necessary. These are lessons that not only benefit your romantic life, but also enrich every area of your life. In the end, stepping back isn't about giving up. It's about showing up for yourself. It's about recognizing your worth and demanding a relationship that reflects it. By creating space, you allow for growth, reflection, and the possibility of a deeper, more meaningful connection, whether with her or someone else who truly values you.